Mangalya is dear and sacred to many women of Bharata even to this day. It is a symbol of being married. The people of our country revere it greatly. On the other hand, there are also a growing number of women educated in modern ways who question the status awarded to the Mangalya. They liken it to a halter tied around the necks of cattle and horses. Based on such a comparison, activists and feminists consider the tying of Mangalya as a humiliating practice. They often decry the Mangalya in their speeches and writings. Significance of Mangalya. Just like all the auspicious ornaments that are part of a marriage, the Mangalya too bears the mark of these elevated thoughts. Contemplating its outer form draws our thoughts inwards and reveals the inner truth to us. The meaning of symbols impressed on the Mangalya becomes clear to all as soon as they become adept at looking inwards. Since a great many rishis of Bharata have strived to look inwards, it is only in this land that the rites and rituals of marriage, including the form and use of Mangalya, have evolved to embrace and reflect the meaning of the inner life of Atman. These practices cannot be censured just because others have not arrived at a similar understanding and have not advocated similar practices. The appearance of Mangalya varies in shape and in the design made by the symbols imprinted on it. Generally, every Mangalya bears mark of the Bindu, the Visarga, and the Surya Chandra Agni on it. It is always made of gold and it is always tied around the neck of the bride. Let us look at the significance of these. When the inward focus of the eyes of the Gyanis reaches a point just above the line formed by the eyebrows, they have a vision of a luminous Bindu dot that is the light known by the name Shiva. That solitary Bindu joins with another Bindu to form a Visarga. The Bindu then becomes capable of opening up and expanding. This comes to be known as Shakti or Lakshmi or Prakriti. When the Bindu of the form of Shiva joins with Visarga of the form of Shakti or Prakriti, life blossoms. The coming together of Shiva and Shakti, or again of Narayana and Lakshmi, is indicated by the presence of the Bindu and Visarga on the Mangalya. The same union of Shiva and Shakti is reiterated by the use of the symbols of the Soma, Surya, and Agni on the Mangalya. The Kaushitaki Brahmana Upanishad declares that in the center of the sun is the moon, and that in the center of the moon is the fire, that in the center of the fire is sattva, and that in the center of the sattva is the imperishable. By way of explanation, it adds that the yogi breaks through the solar, the lunar, the fiery, and sattvic circles or zones within him and becomes pure, sees the Lord who is called Vishnu, who is immovable, immortal, imperishable, firm, all transcending, and radiant, who is endowed with the qualities of true desire, Satyakama, and omniscience, who is independent, Swatantra, and vital, and who always dwells in his own greatness in the heart of Sattva. Sri Guru once told that this verse contains the quintessence of yoga vision and experience, and that in states of deep meditation, the yogi actually sees the radiant disk of sun disappearing in that of moon, and that of moon in a circle of fire, until at the end, in the center of fire, he will realize the supreme. The same thing is reiterated in Narayana Suktam, which says that in the center of that flame there exists the Paramatman. नीवारशूकवत्तन्वी पीताभास्या तनूपमा तस्या शिखाया मध्ये परमात्मा व्यवस्थितः. In Sri Vaishnava tradition, in the middle of golden Tirumangalyam is set an Urdhva Pundra, colloquially called Namam or Vishnupada, with Shankha and Chakra respectively on its left and right. This design too is most auspicious and pregnant with yogic insight. Karma for a householder is said to be threefolded: yajna, dana, and tapas. The fourth step that follows as a result of the threefold path is the Vishnupada, the Paramapada of Lord Vishnu himself. Thus, this Mangalya holds within it the essence of the Grihastha Dharma that the groom has set out to follow, and as such is considered a representative of the Pati himself. Thus, the famous sloka used in Mangalya Dharana, Mangalyam Tantunanena, Mamajivana Hetuna, Kanthe Badhnani Shubhage, Tvam Jiva Sharadashatam. O Blessed One, I solemnly tie around your neck this Mangalya, made of auspicious thread and verily representing the purpose of my life itself. May you live to see 100 years. Let us explore why Mangalya is made out of gold. The brightness of gold most closely resembles the effulgence of the inner light and draws the vision inwards. Besides, the contact of gold has the special power to facilitate such an inward shift. For these two reasons, the Mangalya is made out of gold. A piece of turmeric root has these properties to a good extent and hence be substituted in times and financial constraints for a Mangalya made of gold. Now let us explore why it is tied around the throat region. The region in the body from the Muladhara chakra at the base of the spine to the Kantha, the throat, has been identified by Gyanis as the seat of the Shakti, the feminine principle. The region above the throat is the seat of Shiva, the masculine principle. The throat then is the seat of the union of Shiva and Shakti. That is why the Mangalya bearing the symbol of the union of Shiva and Shakti is tied around the neck at the level of the throat, which is their seat of union in our body. The Vara, groom, who ought to have had an experience of Shiva and Narayana during his Brahmacharya days, remembers all this and ties the Mangalya around the neck of the bride to imbue her with the same experience. This MangalaSutra, the thread which ties the Mangalya with the pointers it bear to our inner lives, is the MangalaSutra of our lives. It is an auspicious reminder of the inner truths revealed to the Gyanis. It is a blessing in keeping with the inner harmony. Sri Ranga Mahagurave